Good Thursday to you. You've made it through another week almost, and that's great. I sense that people are getting a little bit weary, and I think that's to be expected. And so we're reminded in Galatians that we shouldn't grow weary in well-doing because we'll reap if we faint not. And so I think that's where we're all kind of living. So I'm just asking you to just stay with it and do the best you can as a student and as a mommy who's leading several students probably. And I pray for you all the time that you would have wisdom of how to use your time wisely and how to make learning not just boring but fun and interesting. And so those are my prayers for you, and we're kind of all in this together, but we can do it. So don't give up. Just keep smiling and moving on day at a time. And remember, summer is coming sooner or later. Summer is going to be here. All right, I am on the packet that has a little fish on it. At the top it says that there's somewhere, it's on the side, 423, which means it is Thursday. And when I was making up these packets back in March, this was supposed to be our last day of virtual schooling, and then we were going to get to see each other on Monday. And of course that didn't turn out, but I didn't know it at the time. So this packet had, great hope in it, but unfortunately we're just going to have to move on. All right. On your packet, you can see your second page there is a piece of paper for your spelling test, because today you'll take your spelling test. Be sure to give me those. Remember, there's 5 off for each. No, there's not. There's only 4 off for each mistake because there's 25 words. And then just text that to me. That would be great. So, and I'll try to put that in your assignment so you don't forget to give the spelling test. Okay? But now, as we're working together, let's go ahead and let's look at our phonics paper. It is the one that looks like that. So if you could get there, put some boots there at the bottom. Isn't he cute? Yesterday we talked about syllables, and we talked about how to divide words. And our rule yesterday was this top rule, where you had a vowel, 2 consonants, and a vowel, and you were to divide between the 2 consonants. Well, today we're going with a different rule. It's a vowel, consonant, vowel. And when the first vowel says its short sound, then you divide after that consonant. So it's a vowel, consonant, vowel, and you divide after that consonant if the first vowel says its short sound. So lots of these rules apply. That is certainly true if you are going to write a letter and need to divide a word, or write a report and need to divide a word. However, today's world is in the computer world, and you're not going to really be doing a lot of dividing. So we're gonna go over this, but it's not going to be a test. There's not going to be a test at the end. I remember testing years ago, though, and the last test was just horrendous because you had to remember all of the rules. And usually it was one of those tests where the kids just dreaded because it's very difficult to keep them all in your head. But I'm not going to test you at the end of this time, so just enjoy learning as we go on. We can learn even if we aren't tested, right? Right. Okay, here we go. Read the rule, and I just read the rule to you. Then write each word, dividing it into syllables. The first word is robin, and you can see there is a vowel, O, a consonant, B, and a vowel, I. So robin is divided after the B, R-O-B space I-N. So you divide that word, that's a 2-syllable word, you divide it after the B. Move down to cabin. In the word cabin, there's a vowel A, a consonant B, and a vowel I. You divide it after the first consonant there, B. So it's C-A-B space I-N, cabin. Move down to number 3. The word is figure. Figure. You have an I, a G, and a U. And you divide this word after the G, that consonant, figure. So divide that word after the G, F-I-G space U-R-E. Move down to number 4. The word is wagon. The letters we're looking for are A-G-O, vowel, consonant, vowel. Divide this word after the consonant, wag, on, W-A-G space O-N. Move down to the next word. The word is travel. The 3 special letters are A-V-E, vowel, consonant, vowel. Divide after that consonant V, trav, L, T-R-A-V space E-L. Move down to number 6. The word is palace. Our 3 special letters are A-L-A, vowel, consonant, vowel. Divide after the consonant L, pal-S, palace, P-A-L space A-C-E. One more here, statue. The 3 special letters are A-T-U, vowel, consonant, vowel. Divide after the consonant T, statue, S-T-A-T space U-E. Now you have the idea. Go ahead and finish up the next column and finish at the bottom there at number 8. Down below it says write a paragraph that tells about the picture. Tries to use some of the words in the numbers 1 through 15. You could write me a story. You can just write a couple sentences, whatever you're comfortable with, and tell me something about that picture. When you're writing your sentences or your story, remember you have capital letters at the beginning of sentences and periods at the end. And they've asked that you use some of the words up above, so see if you can do that as well. Let's flip our paper over onto the other side, page 170, and I think we're going to continue with the same rule. At the very top of our page, it says write each word and divide it into syllables. It's exactly what we did on the front. In fact, some of the same words are on the back that were already on the front. So you don't need me for that. You just have to find your vowel, consonant, vowel. Find those 3. And remember, you divide after the consonant. Okay, but what we are going to do now is we're going to work some of these words into sentences. So let's go ahead and read the words. Can you read with me as I read them? I'll read down. Cabin, travel, magic, visit, figure, palace, ever, river, wagon, clever. Okay. Here we go. Let's see if we can get these sentences. There once lived a very blank cat. Well, you can tell from that picture that, he's just not your normal kitty. He certainly has some strange clothes on. All right. Well, looking at those words, he could be a magic cat because I think he's kind of in the pretend world. But I think probably the word that they want to use is the word clever. So for number 11, could you write the word clever? He was a very clever cat. And to say he was a very magic cat probably wouldn't be as accurate. So we'll go with the word clever. And if you are an organized person, it's always best to be organized, but if you are an organizer, be sure that you check or put an X or something over the word clever or over the number 10 so that you don't have to go back and use it again. Because almost always, they're only going to use these words one time. I can hardly think of any example of where they use the words over and over again. Not very often. So, certainly not in this book company. Number 12. Okay, we're talking about this cat. He lived in a tiny log what? Well, it could be he could live in a palace, but palaces aren't made of logs. So the only other thing he could live in is a log cabin. So you can put cabin for number 2. A log cabin. And then don't forget to be organized and mark it off the top. Number 13. He liked to blank to many places. Looking at the word choices, if you run each word through there, you probably can figure out it would be travel. He liked to travel to many places. Let me read the words in that spot, the other word choices. He liked to magic to many places. You know, that would make sense. He liked to visit to many places. He liked to figure to many places. He liked to palace to many places. He liked to ever to many places. He liked to river to many places. He liked to wagon to many places. So travel had to be it. So that was easy. So I wrote it down, and then I marked off number 2 up there. Did you do the same? I hope so, because that's being organized. Number 14. One day he set off with his red, something up there that would be red, and I'll let you think of that one. Number 15. When he got to a blank, he swam across. Well, there's only one thing up there where you could swim across, so you don't need me for that. Move down to 16. He came to the royal, and this is where a king would live, and I think you can figure that out. Number 17. I think I shall blank the king, he said. I think the word might be visit. I think I shall visit the king, he said. So number 17 is visit, and then you're going to cross it off up above. I'll do some blank tricks for him, and you'll know that answer. The king could not blank out how the tricks were done. Figure is the word. He could not figure out how the tricks were done. Oh, that's the way I am. Oh, I am so bad about that. You know, somebody does a magic trick, and I am totally clueless as to how they ever did it. Even when Spencer and Pix do little tricks, I have no idea how they do it. So I'm easily tricked. So the king couldn't figure out how the tricks were done. And number 20, he wondered if the cat would blank visit him again. And I'll let you figure that one out. Okay? So you have some to do on your own, and some that we already have given you the answers for. Always remember that when you write below, if you cross up above, it gives you fewer words to look at. Okay? Enjoy finishing the paper. It shouldn't take you hardly any time at all. Be sure to be careful with your spelling. Okay? All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.